Now you did the straddle on IBIT, okay? Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get hurt on it very much. You probably will make some money on it. Yeah, 63 is pretty good. Market internals turning bearish, bullish. Market starting to move up. That was a pretty heavy sell-off this morning, as we see here. But this market it's tough to be short this market. It really is. SPY's got a lot of resistance above here right now. As Microsoft get pounded this morning, trying to move back up. You notice a lot of the stocks are on this list here are red. Now, Apple is still green, but again, it's pulled back pretty hard. Same thing with Hood. Hood is one of the stocks that may be put into the S&P 500. There's a whole list of them that may be in the S&P 500. I don't really have a list of what they are. There are ways to get it, but you're guessing. I mean, you're guessing. If there's 8 or 9 stocks that may go into the S&P tonight, MSTR as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. So you got to pick the right one. Yeah, Blovin's another one they've been talking about putting in there for a while. Reddit too. Harry, you want to be the guy that picks? Yeah, that's the place. That's the position to be in. Yeah, and you can call your long lost uncle and have him put a big trade in on it. Yep. Just like everybody in Congress, they keep threatening to block that. But I mean, listen, if somebody wants to put a trade in on some information that they know, they don't have to do it themselves. They could have somebody do it for them. I mean, if you look at the trades that take place when news comes out on something, and you go back and look at all of a sudden, you take a look at the options that went off, 2 hours before or the day before. The SEC would have to spend thousands of people trying to track this stuff down because it happens every time. There's always somebody that knew something that went in and took advantage of it. That's why unusual option activity is very interesting, but a lot of times you don't even notice them. I mean, insider trading is illegal, but does it happen? Of course it does. I mean, Stevie Cohen that had the big huge hedge fund company that was making boatloads of money for years. Everybody thought he had such a miraculous track record on trading stocks. Yeah, he was paying millions of dollars to informers inside of companies to get the information so that you could trade it. It was insider trading. So yeah, if you know something's going to happen, it gives you a big edge. All right. Again, I've been talking a lot because I'm not trading anything right now. Look at AMD breaking the 50-day. Yeah, AMD's down pretty hard. Most of the chip stocks are down pretty hard. AVGO had a good earnings report. It gapped up this morning. It's pulled back down quite a bit. Still up 10%. Nvidia down pretty hard today, starting to bounce. AMD also down. 151.37, by the way, is a horizontal support line on AMD right there. These charts on these most of these chip stocks are kind of a mess right now in the daily chart because they were so bullish and now they've turned to such a bunch of chop. It's not something I want to want. Something I want to touch. There's MSTR. There's coin this morning. Bitcoin pulling back after gapping up. Again, here's our AA, still trading at 31.28. That AA right now is trading at, oops, let me look, 64 cents. So you might want to adjust that credit down. I don't think we're going to get 70 for it today. It's possible, but I'm going to make it 65 now. And remember, keep this in perspective. That's a very good credit to roll this out. It's a $31 stock, a $32 stock. Anything over $32 is good. You're getting twice what you would normally get on a weekly ATM. I mean, if you get 65 cents credit for 3 weeks, that's $300 per contract. For 5 weeks, $300 contract per contract on profits. So again, I keep adjusting that to 65. I know you can get 60 for it right now. I put a couple of contracts in at 60 to see if I get filled. I get filled at 60. I got my rest at 65. All right. Kind of an interesting day. Hey, Rodney, how are you? Interesting day here today. Jobs report was awful. 75,000 jobs expected. Only 22,000. They switched June to a negative number of jobs. Job report was this the second bad jobs report in a row. Market gapped up on it and then sold off very hard. Sold off very hard right down here to this standard deviation line. Now it's trying to bounce a little bit. Don't know where we're going to go. But again, I'm not jumping on this short bandwagon. I got trapped into that once before in the last jobs report. I'm not going to do it again. I want to see what the market does. And right now, I'm holding off on any new trades. Short all along right now, unless I can find a good intraday trade to take. But right now, we're just kind of moving back up again. I'm going to be hoarse with talking here if I don't stop for a minute. I'm going to take a break and get a little drink of water. Rodney, anyway, get fired off the bad jobs report. Yeah, listen, the jobs report's the jobs report. It's the same jobs report we have for years and years. Which, the jobs report is bad. The jobs, we're just shedding jobs. There's just no question about it. Unemployment rate ticked up a little bit. Highest only went up to 4.3, but that's the highest since 2021. So, yeah, the market's weak, but we're going to likely get a rate cut. The market is, I think, anticipating that the rate cut is going to stem any kind of longer term economic weakness. So we'll see if they're right or not. I'm just trading the market. Whether the market is guessing right or guessing wrong, the market is doing what it's doing, and that's all I'm going to trade, is just what the market's doing. SMMT Summit. Yeah, we've talked that. You talked about that several times, Ari. It's right at the 50-day moving average. Correct. Yeah, terrible daily chart. Been very choppy here for the last couple of months. Summit Therapeutics. All right, so we're just kind of watching. That's what I'm doing. I'm just watching. I know everybody wants to trade. Over trading is one of the biggest drawbacks to retail traders. I don't see any reason right now to jump into this market. We're below the VWAP. We're below the pivot point. The market's pulled back from an all-time high. I don't see any reason to. Even if you can find a really good stock, I guess you can intraday trade it right now. But for swinging right now, it's really hard to say. GLW doing very well. Corning long we've got is nice. It's up this morning on 1.3% right now. It's the premiums are at 433. We're trying to get 475 for Corning. It's going to have to go up another 50 cents. It's going to have to go to about 71.15 or so for us to get filled. But we get till the 19th. This is a nice. I mean, look at that. If you look at this, and let's look at it on TC 2000 so I can show you something. All right. So here's GLW that we're long. All right. See this move up now. Here's the SPY. See this red line here, and then green, red, and green. That's the SPY. Look what it did. I mean, this is like a textbook case of relative strength. Pull back a little bit here, and then it's come right back up again. Market's coming up, it's bouncing with it. Never really pull back on the market. That's what you find when I talk about relative strength. Not RSI, relative strength to the SPY. Here's the SPY, and here it is, and here's the market internals. But you see they're coming down, but you see how they're not coming down as steeply as the SPY is, and now they're bouncing back up again. You can do your weekly ATM. You can do that at 60 if you want. I was able to get filled at some at 60. You might want to actually change it to 60 and take the money there. Because the stock's moving up, and next week's are going to start dropping a little bit more than this week's are. So let's try for 60 and see if we can't get 60. Again, I'm happy with 60. Believe me, it's twice what I would normally get on a spread like this. Harry filled at 60. Okay, good job. Yeah, I'm putting the alert out to switch it to 60. I'm going to go ahead and get all mine. I'm going to put them all through at 60. So we got a credit this week. The $32 puts, by the way, that we put on long that expire. The $30 puts that expire in October. Those things are actually up right now about $15 $15 a contract on the longs. So the position is in the green. The overall, if you closed it out right now, the whole weekly ATM, you'd have a profit, even though it's trading like 60-70 cents below the $32 strike. That's what's so nice about these. Are very forgiving, but you have to use your technicals and you have to understand what the structure is. But these are really nice trades, but you have to have the right market to do it. You just can't put them on willy-nilly. AA filled at 64. Good job, George. Gaurav, very, very nice job. 64 is beautiful. Again, we're looking for 32. Would be 32 credit would be perfect. So anything above that is bonus, and that's quite a big bonus. Again, I got filled at 60, so you got filled at 64. Excellent. Again, there's some spreads on there, so they're going to vary a little bit. Okay. Market just trying to see if it's found a bottom. We don't know. But it went right to the 15 on the daily chart on SPY and bounced right off the 15. Again, in case you missed it, this is what I talk about with why I use the 8 and 15 together. Right, look at the daily chart. Here's the 8 is the white line, the 15 is the orange line on the SPY. You see what it did here today. See how it came back down below it here the other day? Went up to it, supported on it, came close to it yesterday, right after the open. Today, gapped up, pulled back down through the 8, through the 15, bouncing right off the 15. I mean, if you go back in time, you can see this. You see the breakdown below here and then back up above the 15. Here we had this breakdown in this jobs report. Bounced right above the 15 the next day, stayed right above the 15. It's it's the one I use, and I use it because it works quite often. Nice little bounce on the SPY. SPY coming up to the pivot point. Hey, Heaven, good morning. About 11:15. Bad jobs report this morning. Market gapped up on it. Then it sold off hard, right through the 8, right down to the 15, and has bounced off of it now. It's trying to bounce back up to this VWAP. Very critical level on the VWAP here. Market gets, if I gets above the VWAP and closes above the VWAP and keeps moving, I would I'd go into a few intraday longs at that point, or maybe one, a couple of intraday longs. But it's got to get above there and stay above there and confirm above there. It's likely to stop there. AA right now printing 65. I get filled at 60. So, and I know some folks get filled at 64. It's going to be somewhere between 60 and 65 cents most likely. I just printed 68, but I just popped 68, but I don't think that you could get that for it. Got a pretty wide spread though. This week 63 by 73 right now. On the puts, the 32 puts. Next week's 126 by 137. Everybody who did it wants to get out at 60 should have been able to roll it at 60 at this point. Okay, so we got a 60-cent credit, and we just hold on to it till next week. Just hopefully just let it deteriorate so we can buy it back cheaper next week. SPY running into the pivot point right there. This is the 50-day moving average. I don't use this thing on the daily chart. I mean the 5-minute chart. And then you get the pivot point in the VWAP right here. Bunch of resistance right here, right now. 10 minutes at 12. And I haven't made a trade today except to take profits in Shopify, which has come back down since then. GLW still looking pretty nice here. Very nice relative strength for the day. LNTH, by the way, this one that's been in this gap we've been waiting on. Market down today, it's green. And VSAT, I haven't looked at it recently, is slightly red, but not much. It's still sitting between the 8 and the 15 EMA. How do I determine the pivot point and how it's different from previous day's closing? I'm not exactly sure how they calculate it, Ramkumar, I'll tell you the truth. It is done through mathematical calculations when the software was originally set up. All I know is it's very accurate, and it's usually pretty close to the previous day's lower high, but it does vary some. See, in this particular case, it's below yesterday's. You can see where it is here. This was the close yesterday. It's below there. I'm not sure. Again, it's calculated. I'm not sure what the formula is for it. All I know is it's pretty accurate. Pivot point, start offering resistance on the SPY here. pretty flat here now, the market, after a little gap up this morning, a big pull down, very, very red. Now it's just kind of moving sideways. And the SPY, moves back up through the VWAP. It'll be back probably to green again. So I'm just watching right now, just watching. Getting a little hungry, but gonna eat in about half an hour. Is the 647.26 the pivot point for the SPY? Mayak took profits 20% in Gilead swing. Nice job. 647.26 on the SPY. Yeah, it's about right. Whatever the white line's at. I don't know the exact level. Looks about right. Market internals moving up a little bit, still getting kind of choppy though, as the SPY pulls back a little bit now. Just about to the pivot point now, rolling back down again. Hey, good morning, Ryan. Did you close out the remaining open position or letting it run? No, I closed it yesterday, but I still have some on. I'm just letting the other ones run. I've been kind of not scalping it, but I've been getting in at a level, then getting out, getting in, getting out. But I'm keeping my original position on. I didn't feel anything off today, although 639 was a resistance level on open. SPY drifting back down again now. Qs as well. IWM. SPY coming back down toward the 8 again. Volume's dropping off on the SPY quite dramatically here compared to what it was this morning when it was selling off so hard. These are not big volume candles. Everything's just kind of riding sideways here right now. And the SPY is close to sitting on the 8 exponential moving average, slightly above it right now, but not by a lot. The 8 on the SPY right now is 645 exactly. Okay, we'll be right back. Just gotta look for some stocks. Oh, man. Whew. Trying to keep people out of trading. Keeps from a bunch of lunatics over there. Trading like crazy people. Market gapped up this morning. Everybody's, oh, gotta get long, gotta get long. Turns around, heads back down. Gotta get short, gotta get short.
You mean they're using money like
And
crazy?
of course, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Trimming these indicators they're using. I'm using the ATR. It really works good. I said, Harry, what the hell are they talking about? He says, I've never seen such bullshit in my life. That's the average crew rate at JTR. Doesn't mean diddly.
As long as they get, break some bullshit.
It's unbelievable.
Eat.
The guy I've been talking to, Carlton Holbrook down in Texas, the paraplegic guy, he's buying the Lifetime today.
This is crazy. So I started.
Just trying to score here.
I started at. I left it around three, so I started at like 305 to score.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it since 10:30, and I know I've gotten more than 69, but it says I only scored 69.
Listen,
And
you
then,
already made those numbers.
no, but here's what I'm saying. So, and then, I'm like trying to get it down. And so then it jumps up to 389, and then it jumps back down to 321, and now it's 412.
It's nonsense.
It's not.
A moving target. You don't care. You're just trying to
I
score.
don't care. They pay me, but
Yeah, they pay you. They care.
I want to make it look like I've done something.
Let me check my contract. No, it doesn't make a difference.
You know what? I don't feel so good today.
You don't either? What's that? Head?
Headache.
Yeah, I actually got some sinus. I took red pills and mucinex.
My head hurts. My stomach's a little upset. I've got drainage. I'm here, and I have a sore throat.
Maybe you phone the doctor today.
Yeah.
Hey doc, I feel like shit.
And I want you to get it.
Nah, I don't think it's communicable. Alfie, you've been sitting in here. Good boy. You're a good boy. That Alfie is the best dog.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't lick hardly at all last night. He jumped in, licked twice, pushed up into the pillows, and went to sleep. Didn't you? You good boy.
But he got out of bed like in the middle of the night.
Did he?
Yeah. He wasn't. When I got up.
That's weird.
The last time.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in the bed.
Huh. You went to your crate, huh? You good boy, Alfie.
Probably about the second time I got up to leave. On ship.
SPY drifting back down again. Drifting here is the key word. Market internals are getting pretty flat right now. Hey Joshua, zero DTE premiums seem decent on SATS for selling puts. Held with the VWAP. Yeah, I just fell below the VWAP. I wouldn't mind assignment, but I do think there is too much risk for attempting to collect premium. On a zero DTE, I don't know. I wouldn't try to do it today. On SATS, EchoStar, you're trying to sell some puts below it, expiring today. I don't know. If you want to own the stock, it doesn't really make much difference. You get a little bit cheaper if they pull down. If they don't, you'll keep the premium. That'd be the only way you do it is if you want to get assigned to it. But I mean, if you want to get assigned, you probably could go out another week and collect a lot more premium. Do I think there's too much risk? It doesn't really make any difference. If you want to own the stock, what's the risk? If you want to own the stock, if you're selling premium, it's either A, you're going to keep the premium, the stock's going to stay above your strike price, or B, it's going to fall below your strike price, you're going to get assigned, which you wanted to do anyway. So the risk, of course, is you get assigned and the stock collapses. But if you like the stock to own it, I mean, that's what you do. That's the only way that you should be selling naked puts on anything, is if you want to own the stock. Yeah, SPY, it's just really not. This is about pretty flat here now after this gap up this morning. Nice gap up, huge sell-off off the jobs report. I mean, it's like they don't really know what to make of the bad news. Bad news was good news because they're going to cut rates. Bad news is bad news because the economy's getting weak. Market has no idea. All we're going to try to do is just trade what the market's doing. That's it. Here's GLW, by the way, making a move up to 70, 75 here. This has had great relative strength all day long. Beautiful relative strength. Again, I rolled my double A out at 60 cents. It's trading. It says it's trading. It's jumping all over the place. It goes from 60 to 77, back to 58. Again, I'm happy with 60 for it. AA right now is up to 31.70, bouncing back up again, which is good because if you've rolled it, your premiums for next week now they're going down. I mean, if you rolled it, sold it for next week's. We sold it for when I sold it for about $1.34 for next week's puts, and they're $1.11 right now. So they've moved down quite a bit. Now this week's have also dropped quite a bit. So right now it's printing 76 cents. So if you waited, you might get filled more. I'm perfectly happy with taking what I've got on it right now. GLW is moving up very nicely. 445 right now. 445. Again, we need about a 30 cent to 35 to 40 cent jump in GLW here to get our 475. Spot 145% holding from Monday. Nice job, Joe. Joe, GLW another dollar. Nice job. And GLW took 25%. Yesterday's added position. Terry, excellent. Very nice trading. Very nice trading on these. Okay, we got some really good traders in this room. Uh, you can trade obviously more frequently than I can because I'm doing a bunch of other things, and I do make some trades I don't call about in here. But the trading here is the folks here are trading really well, and and that's a testament to the methodology. It's a testament to the system. You know, I hope I'm helping by educating everybody, but I'm really happy to see people making money. I mean, that's what this is all about, to be consistently profitable, and some really good trades being posted. Excellent. Nice job. GLW. Again, if you look at the SPY super system of GLW, when we took this thing long, look at how beautiful this is. I mean, it's just compressed here. When we take it, it's just moving, grinding right up here. Beautiful trade. And you know, if we get a break, we might get out today. It's going to need a little bit more of a push, but it's really, this is, remember, the one that tanked the other day on that news, when we right back down here, and where I did a credit spread on it and made a ridiculous amount of money on a credit spread. But in any case, we stuck with it. Some people added, which was a smart thing to do, and it's moving right up toward 71 right now. Again, relative strength is a big, way overlooked criteria for high probability trade setups. Back and moving, trying to move back up toward the VWAP. You know, we've got some fairly compressed action right now. We got buyers and sellers pretty much duking it out with each other, pretty much offsetting each other. Market internals, by the way, is still showing an uptrend, and so that's that tells me I don't really want to be shorting the market here right now. the market's chopping sideways here as it's moved down to around the 8 exponential moving average on the daily, and not doing much of anything here right now. So nothing I'm going to do except get ready to get some lunch. There's AA pulling back just a little bit. GLW, which is having a good day, just sold off a little bit. No surprise profit taking around $71. Again, we're just in this for a longer term trade. We'll see what happens. Trending, you see the market internals have switched to a slightly downward move now. The SPY drifting down. AA looks like it's printing about 75 cents now. I don't know if you can get filled at that. The spreads are a little, not too bad, but a little bit wide. $35 by 52 is pretty wide, to 17 cents on the put side. Coming up at 12:26. I'm going to get lunch here in just a minute. Really not much going on. Gaurav, you have a straddle 44 on RKLB, Market Labs. You have a 44 straddle expiring today, which is in a loss. Yeah, well, it's trading at 44.07. So this is one of those cases where you had, I assume you probably put it on here. I don't know for sure, but that would be my suspicion with the big volume. And it hasn't done much, and today it's trading at 44. I don't know what you paid for it or anything, but again, this is what you don't want to see on something that's. I don't know if you could have made any money down here, because it dropped all the way down to 42.50. AA Joe, AA filled at 71. Good job, nice job. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you to do with with our KLB right now. I mean, you're right at your strike, so you need a move one way or the other. If you don't make it a move, you're just gonna decay. Um, as long as it stays at 44, it's just gonna decay. But I don't know what it's worth right now. This probably was an exit opportunity down here at 42.50. That was about a buck and a half lower. It's just a matter of how much it's worth and whether you want to try to hold on for a move. I mean, it doesn't need a big, huge move for you because it's trading right at your strike price. So it's kind of like kept putting it on for the day. Just by moving down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get some lunch. Let me go ahead and close the YouTube feed. Thank you, all the folks from YouTube. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on Monday. We'll be back on Monday. We've got a full week next week. Back for hopefully another day. We haven't done any trades today. Just closed out Shopify for profit. I closed my SPY strangle from overnight for profit, and we rolled that double A out to next week. That weekly ATM. We bought back this week's puts, sold next week's puts. I got received a 60 credit. Joe just said he got a 70 or 71 cent credit. So somewhere between 60 and 72 cents credit for this roll, which is fine. Again, on a weekly ATM, you want to get at least 1% of the stock price. So 1% of the stock price on AA would be about 32 cents. So anything above that is actually a little bit of a bonus. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close down YouTube. We'll see everybody in YouTube on Monday.